Hello and what is up, Twitch and YouTube? My name is G3Iron and welcome to your most favorite patch note reading adventures. That's right, gather around your children, find a nice comfortable spot on the couch, get yourself a warm beverage, maybe a blanket, and lend your ears and your time, your attention, and your Twitch chat emotes. For we are about to embark on a journey. That journey is titled The 320 Forbidden Sanctum Patch Notes. All right, let's dive in. So, starting off, there's the new 3-month Challenge League. Of course, there's all of the standard Challenge League info there. We're going to drop down from there. There's the new content and features, which, of course, all got thrown into the trailer. So we'll briefly go over this. So we added the new optional game mode for Path of Exile Ruthless. We added a new Strength and Intelligence skill gem, Frozen Legion. This spell consumes multiple cooldown uses to summon icy statues in a ring. I think it looks pretty cool. I don't know about you guys. I think it looks pretty cool. I'm going to make some of this stuff on the stream smaller. Hopefully it doesn't crash the stream. Hopefully. There we go. A little bit smaller there so that way you guys can actually see all the wording. All right, so I think I'm probably going to use this, by the way. Frozen Legion, I'm probably going to at least try it out. Once it comes out, because it looks cool. It reminds me a little bit of almost like Spectral Helix, where it's a set it and forget it. Just stand still, stop for a moment, use your ability, and keep moving. That's the potential, at least, that's there. We could do a Ruthless Trade League Guild Bank. Oh, now that's an interesting concept, Neil. I'm going to have to make a separate video discussing Ruthless. My thoughts on Ruthless are, if I'm going to play Ruthless, which I very well might, in fact, I probably will. Then I'm going to be doing content specifically for Ruthless, and I'm going to do it when I play POE in a softcore environment. Then I try and min-max that, basically playing the economy. And when I try and play Path of Exile in a hardcore environment where my character dies and it feels really bad, then I want to play it in the hardest environment. So that means if I play Ruthless, I'm probably going to play HC SSF, most likely. Karagai said Frozen Legion is basically Duresso's skill. Oh, that's cool. Maybe that's what it's reminding me of. Okay, we also added a new strength skill gem, Volcanic Fissure. This is the one that slams the ground and then the winding fissure goes to the target location. We added a new intelligence support gem, Cursed Ground. Supported skills create cursed ground. Enemies on the cursed ground from a supported skill are cursed with that hex, so that's interesting. Added a new intelligence support gem, Hex Bloom. Hexes from supported skills are transferred to all enemies within a certain distance when hexed enemy dies. That's pretty cool. So you go Profane Bloom, and then you go Hex Bloom, and then everything chains. All right, introduced 8 new Vol skill gems. This is what we got. We got Vol Cleave, Vol Flicker Strike, Vol Blade Flurry, Vol Venom Gyre, Vol Molten Strike, Vol Caustic Arrow, Vol Volcanic Fissure, and Vol Smite. Interesting. With Vol Cleave coming in at the top spot because it's going to grant you Headhunter buffs. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. If you are audio only, if you are just listening to this and you missed the trailer, I encourage you to go check out the trailer for the upcoming 320 Forbidden Sanctum League because Headhunter buffs are now stealable with Vol Cleave, right? So that's exciting. That's very exciting. All right, we've introduced the Fracturing Orb, which, where was it? Red was kind enough to send me a whole bunch of these images earlier. And so I'm pulling these up here from Red. Where did it go? Here it is. Open the original. This is what the Fracturing Orb can do. Those of you who are audio, this is what it says. It says fracture a random modifier on a rare item with at least 4 modifiers, locking it in place. This can't be used on influenced, synthesized, or fractured items. So that's pretty good. Introduce Fracturing Shards, which cannot be used in their shard form, but automatically transform into the Fracturing Orb when they reach their maximum stack size. Everybody that was wondering about whether or not Harbinger would be worthy of farming for softcore trade purposes and for economic purposes, the answer is yes. While Exalted Shards and Exalted Orbs are, of course, flip-flopped place, they've swapped place with Divine Orbs as the metacrafting currency of choice. I think upon first glance of this Fracturing Orb, I think since it's going to drop within Harbinger, and Chris has mentioned it as such, it sounds like this is their attempt to make Harbinger still worth farming. That's what it sounds like. So this could be a meme. Feel free to clip it and then send it to me on Discord, tag me on it, post it on Reddit, make fun of it, whatever, in a week when we all find out and figure out the fracturing orbs are terrible and the drop rates are awful and everybody hates them. But the early predictions, at least from where I'm sitting, is that's going to be very, very strong. Added over 15 unique items, including one designed by a supporter. Added 10 new divination cards, 5 of which were designed by our supporters, with 5 designed by winners of boss kill events. We've added 2 new Atlas memories themed around domination and bestiary, which includes 9 new beast crafting recipes. Calandra's Touch unique ring has been added to the core drop pool. Grand and exceptional Eldritch Ichors have received new art, so they are more distinguishable. Continued to incrementally improve sound, art, effects, and environment. All right, so that's what we've got so far. Okay, now in regards to changes to the Atlas, let's go over those. Maven Witness map bosses now have a chance to drop an Awakened Gem, inclusive of the Awakened Gems that are typically exclusive to Maven herself. I cannot state this enough. Those of you, I have no idea what Path of Exile has been like for the last year. I've been gone. Those of you who hated having to farm Cirrus in order to try and attempt to get Awakened Gems, let that be gone. Right? Maven already had some access to Awaken stuff. You could get it that way, and there were some div cards. But just realize anything that's being witnessed by Maven, which Maven is just, she's a creepy person. She likes to watch you blow other things up. That's kind of creepy. But Maven Witness map bosses now are going to give you potential for Awakened Gems. We don't know how frequently that's going to happen. It might be once every 1 billion encounters, but at least it's on the drop pool. So I like that in theory. All right, the following maps have been added back to the Atlas. Academy. Oh, nobody likes that. Bazaar. Okay, Burial Chambers. Cage Channel. Hey, people like Channel. City Square. Courthouse. Courtyard. Coves. Estuary. Forbidden Woods. Graveyard. Haunted Mansion. Iceberg. Infested Valley. Ivory Temple. Lookout. Mineral Pools, Primordial Blocks, Sepulchre, Shipyard, Spider Lair, Sunken City, Toxic Sewer, and Volcano. The following maps have been removed. Arena, Arid Lake, Armory, Barrows, Belfry, Bramble Valley, Cells, Chateau, Dig, Excavation, Fungal Hollow, Jungle Valley, Lava Chamber, Marshes, Mud Geyser, Park, Pen, Racecourse, Ramparts, Stagnation, Summit, Vault, Waste Pool, Waterways, and Wharf. Map tiers and locations have been shuffled, though the pin locations for maps have not changed. Most maps are now initially found at a different tier. Some of the map bosses you are required to defeat to upgrade your Pantheon have changed as a result of these Atlas changes. Crafting recipes that were previously unlocked in maps that have been removed from the Atlas are now found within other maps currently on the Atlas. Some divination cards have found new homes as a result of these Atlas changes. Bijou can now be found in grotto maps. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to read all these. I'm not going to read all those. I'm not going to read all the div card changes. You can go back through if you'd like. There's like 16, 15 of them. The Alkil's Prophecy Divination card has been re-enabled. The Vile Power Divination card has been re-enabled. The Alkil's Prophecy Divination card being re-enabled now awards, oh my goodness, I can't speak, now awards a double corrupted unique elegant round shield. This card can be found in the Temple of Atsuatl. The Transformation Divination card has been re-enabled and now awards a Tainted Mythic Orb. Ooh. A Note in the Wind Divination card has been re-enabled and now rewards Athenes Mark. Nice. The Mad King Divination card has been re-enabled and now awards an Ultimatum Aspect. This card can now be found in Caldera, Colosseum, Dark Forest, and Reef maps. Okay, cool. That's the Squire Shield. Oh, that's the Shield Chase unique, right? The Squire. I seem to have remembered that was, it used to be a Chase unique when it first came out, right? All right, Monster Mods and Arch Nemesis, I'm jumping past all this. They've already talked about it before. Eldritch Ultras, we've already talked about it. We've done the FAQs on it. We've already read it. We've already discussed it. All right, the Atlas Tree, this was something that they talked about for the first time here today. So the problem, currently, the Atlas passive tree creates pressure to only run pinnacle boss content when you're spec'd into Atlas passives that will maximize your rewards, hoarding as much of the given type of content as you can before running and speccing back out of it. Which I can just say, that was something that literally, as soon as you guys showed me the Atlas passive tree, as soon as we were taking a look at it in Standard the other day, that was I think that was part of our initial conversation was, okay, there's a whole bunch of bossing stuff at the very top of the tree. And so if you're going to be a boss running character, you go and get that stuff. But if you're not going to be a boss running character, what's the point? Right? Is there a sufficient bonus to not being a boss running character? So the solution is we've removed the Atlas passives that increase the amount of rewards from limited content such as Shaper Elder, the Searing Exarch, the Eater of Worlds, and the Maven. The purpose of this is such that you should be able to engage with this content at any time. We want to improve, because that's just tedious. Going back in and resetting like 130 passives every time you want to change your content, that's obnoxious. We want to improve on the concept that the Atlas tree allows players to invest into leagues that they enjoy and have added new clusters to the passive tree for league content that can be blocked through Atlas passive skills. We've also increased the chances for such league content to appear. We like it. We like that. Make the Atlas passive tree. I haven't even played with it yet. But I feel like the Atlas passive tree should be about the Atlas, not just about the bosses, right? I'm not saying that we should have a third passive tree just for bossing. I'm just saying you run maps more frequently than you encounter bosses, right? Inherently, the base level of bosses that you encounter per map is 1, right? There's at least 1 map per boss. Whereas the rest of the map, hundreds, potentially thousands of monsters. And depending on what content you're running, maybe even tens of thousands of monsters. My goodness, I don't even know. So the fact that the entire passive tree for the Atlas was kind of shaped around bossing, to me, that just doesn't quite feel right. But admittedly, I'm also not a bossing guy. I've never been like hey, let's just run Cirrus nonstop. Hey, let's just run Shaper nonstop. Hey, let's just run Elder nonstop. Whatever the new pinnacle boss is, I've never just been hey, let's just run it nonstop. Existing clusters have also been tweaked with the goal of making them more of an attractive option. In addition, we've added a new keystone passive that causes scarabs used in your map device to provide increased pack size rather than their usual modifiers. Oh, that's cool. So you could use scarabs to buff the amount of mobs that you got. So from what you all have told me, Beyond got basically replaced and nerfed, right? So people don't use Beyond in order to add density anymore, right? Does that sound similar? Is that a fair, accurate summary? So if we're no longer using Beyond to increase pack size and just more monster density, it looks like this is the way to do it. That you use scarabs to increase mob density, give bigger pack size. No? Maybe I'm misunderstanding that. One of you guys will help correct me. Beyond and Scourge got together, and Beyond stops when you encounter a boss from it. Beyond is basically the same as before, but it stops after a boss spawns. Oh, interesting. Beyond is, as far as I know, a gamble in terms of pack size. That's the big nerf to the mechanic. Okay. So it's not a guaranteed way of just making sure that all the time every single pack is going to be bigger. The guaranteed way of doing that is through scarabs. That's what that seems like. All right, Jules, ailment mitigation. We're not going to talk about that. They've already discussed that through the various manifestos. Curses, they did a curse manifesto. We're not going to talk about that. I love that they're releasing this stuff beforehand, by the way. I love it. Love, love, love it. Okay, we talked about all this. Yep, we talked about all this the other day. All right, Enfeeble and Tempt Chains. Okay, endgame unique weapons. Let's talk about this. This looks interesting. Many of Path of Exile's most iconic unique attack-based weapons have fallen out of use over the years. You know what? I'm going to pull up Path of Exile just so that way we have some background music. I'm missing some background music here. I want to hang out in my hideout and have some background music going on. I also want to look in standard and see how many of these things I have. I'm kidding. I'm not going to do standard inventory. We're gonna keep reading patch notes. It was just a little joke there. Just a little joke, guys. Just a little joke. I do have a bunch of stuff in standard though. It's kind of funny. All right, does this character actually have stuff on him? I think he does. I just want to. I don't think there should be any obnoxious in-game sounds going off. Okay, here we go. So, many of Path of Exile's most iconic unique attack-based weapons have fallen out of use over the years. This is mainly because attack-based builds prioritize high base weapon damage over all else, and unique weapons are currently not able to compete with rare weapons in this regard. While a fundamental aspect of Path of Exile's itemization is that unique items will be outclassed by rares, in the cases of these iconic weapons, they get outclassed before they can be reasonably acquired. That's so true. Okay, so here's the solution, which, by the way, I got to say, I'm going to... How to do this kindly without just being an arrogant jerk. I would like to thank everyone in the Path of Exile Good Guy Gaming community for the excellent discussions that we have around here. Because we had a discussion the other day, me being gone for a year from playing Path of Exile, we had a discussion the other day over the design tension of uniques and rares in Path of Exile. And Chris addressed that. Chris addressed that today in the trailer Q&A with Ziggy, and it's right here in the patch notes, that there is a tension, and the design team recognizes that tension, is aware of it, and tries to design around that tension between rares that are supposed to be the top end of stats, while uniques are supposed to be uniques, and they do interesting and unique things. But there are certain uniques, like these weapons, these iconic attack-based endgame weapons, that they are basically stats. They are basically souped-up rares. But the problem is that when Shaper can drop... Oh, I forget what Shaper's weapon... Starforge, there we go. It's all coming back to me. When Edziri can drop Edziri's disfavor, like, you've already got weapons that are better than what they're going to drop. So what's the point? The point is, in an economy-based league, in a trade-based league, the point is, okay, I got it to drop, now I can sell it to some other sucker who can't do this content yet. But there's no sense of, all right, I finally got this to drop, and now I'm going to go make a build for myself. So I'm glad that they're changing these uniques to at least be buffed, to compete and to compare and to be relevant for when they drop. So we've increased the power of some existing endgame unique items. Yes, by the way, Chris did confirm on stream, this does mean that uniques in Standard are going to be buffed. So here's what we got. Edziri's disfavor is going to be buffed. It now is going to have 310 to 330 to 370 to 390 fizz instead of 200s for those categories. So that's massive. Sad for the Beano change. Always was a nice item to start poison builds. Beano's change says this. Beano no longer has 30% increased damage over time. It now adds 140, 155 to 210, 235 physical damage. It used to be 50 to 120 to 140. That's going to be very good. That is a big upgrade as a knife. Now, it's not going to be a dot weapon anymore, but just as a hit-based weapon, it's going to be much better than what it was. Bloodseeker Unique Claw now has 220% increased physical damage, previously 150, 170, and adds 25 to 30 physical damage. That's more than doubled. That's more than doubled its damage. The Divinarius Unique Dagger now has 150 or 100 to 150% increased spell damage, previously 50 to 70. And now has got gained 100 to 200 life per enemy killed. It was previously flat 30. Gained 50 to 100 mana per killed enemy, previously 10. It now also has 200 to 250% increased critical strike chance for spells if you've killed recently. Okay, it was previously 125, 175. Now has plus 60 to 100 to crit strike multi for spells if you haven't killed recently. It was previously 40 to 60. These are serious numerical buffs. I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm going to let you know the ones that did get touched. The Essentia Sangui's Unique Claw. Okay, that one goes up from 1 to 200 all the way up to 1 to 500 to 600. That's 3 times the flat damage. Kingmaker Unique Axe now has 300 to 360% increased physical damage, was 190 to 240. It'll be interesting to see what else Kingmaker had on it. Because Chris said, I'm not going to say anything, I'm just going to smile about Kingmaker. So that's interesting. Kitava's Feast Unique Axe now has socketed gems are supported by level 30 melee splash, previously only level 25. Lion Eye's Glare has 180 to 200% increased fizz, was 90 to 105. And now gives 7 to 14 to 24 to 34 fizz damage, was previously 6 to 12 and 20 to 32. Okay, that one's not quite so outrageous. The increased physical damage is outrageous, but the base isn't. The Moro... Oh my gosh, I can't say this. The Marohai Urki... Marohai Urki, right? Isn't a Q... Doesn't it become a K sound? The Marohai Urki Unique Mace now has 500 to 600% increased physical damage. It was previously 4 to 5. The Savior now has 130 to 150. It used to be 40 to 50. The Soul Taker has 140 to 180% increased damage. It was 100 to 140. Okay, so now in its worst form, it's going to be a top end for what it used to be top end. It adds 30 to 40 physical damage, was previously 10 to 20. Okay, so that's doubling that. It's amazing. Replica Soul Taker Unique X can no longer be obtained. Oh, do I have one already? I need to go buy one in standard. I got to diversify more my portfolio. That's what Chris told me to do. The Veranastra Unique Sword now has 80 to 100% increased damage, was 40 to 60. Void Forge now has 30 to 60 increased fizz. Existing versions are unaffected. It now has gained 700% of weapon physical damage as extra damage of a random element. It was previously 300%. So that's more than doubled. That is more than doubled. That's big. That is very big. Okay, Voltaxic Riff Unique Bow no longer has 10% chance to shock. Existing versions will be unaffected. It now adds 1 to 600 to 750. What? Okay, that's more than doubled. It used to be 275 to 325. Now it's 600 to 750. Jeez. And 100% of lightning damage converted to chaos. It used to be 60%. That's nuts. That's nuts. Okay. Yeah, Void Forge. Yeah, that's nuts. All right, Bow League, and Melee League. It's just going to be an everything league. The only thing I don't hear is spells. There's nothing here for spell slingers, right? Anybody that wants to be a spell boy. Anybody that wants to go back in the day and play Poet's Pen. I don't see Poet's Pen coming back on the menu this league, but maybe it will. Or spell slingers, right? Spell Impale. Oh, that's true, Ruin. That's true. That's true. That's a good point. Spells can impale. They don't need a buff, yeah. With as many levels as you can pump them up to. All right, mitigating monster life regeneration. So does that mean we're all gonna league start with spells, right? I probably will. Over in Ruthless, definitely. Okay, monster life regeneration is rarely a significant issue for players, but in cases where it does present an obstacle, there are few solutions available to deal with it. Frostbomb. 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 Solution. Introduce some new sources to mitigate monster life regeneration that are able to be accessed easily. 60% increased life recovery from flasks used when on low life is now found on the base soul of Raslotha Pantheon. The upgraded soul of Raslotha Pantheon now provides enemies you've hit recently have 50% life regeneration rate. Okay. So I guess before you go fight the Oak boss, you go grab that in a map. The 50% increased life recovery from flasks when used on low life has been replaced with nearby enemies have 50% reduced life generation rate. Okay, interesting. So flask regeneration really isn't something that GGG has said is a problem. They're like, yeah, we can do that. Melee still need that love. I'm banking on an amazing Vol skill. Yeah, you mean the one that steals Headhunter buffs? That's going to be pretty nuts. That's going to be pretty nuts. Most strike skills are currently reliant on ways to strike extra targets and or deal splash damage in order to compete with other builds when clearing groups of enemies. That's just one buff, isn't it? It's just the Vol skill, which ideally you can keep chaining, right, between packs. Okay, here's the solution for Melee. Add Melee Splash access to the passive tree skill, or to the passive skill tree, and move the additional single strike there to attack mastery instead of a specific node. Okay, so you don't have to path by that now. That's nice. That's nice. Specifics. The Tribal Fury notable passive skill no longer grants strike skills one additional nearby enemy. It now has melee strike skills deal splash damage to surrounding targets. The two small passive skills in the Tribal Fury cluster, which provide 10% increased melee damage and 15% increased melee splash area of effect, have been removed. Add a new attack mastery. Masteries were a brilliant idea, by the way. I love masteries. Attack mastery that provides strike skills, target one additional nearby enemy, which replaces the strike skills. Target additional enemies can do so from 30% further away. Yeah, that's lame. This is good. I think that's good. All right, Pious Path. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hey, guys, here's the Inquis nerf. The recovery provided by the consecrated ground you create causes life regeneration to also recover energy shield for you and your allies. Oh wait, is this... This is not Inquisitor, this is Guardian. What am I doing here? What am I doing here? This is Guardian, right? Where are you at? Pious Path, right? Where are you at? No, 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 no. No, no, no. 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 Is it Inquis? It is Inquis, okay. Alright, so they're saying this is a problem. Okay, so it is the Inquis. Oh, it says so right here. Duh, Iron, keep reading. Okay, so 50% increased effective consecrated ground you create. On top of this feels overboard. The Inquisitor's Pious Path Ascendancy passive skill no longer provides 50% increased effective consecrated ground you create. I don't even think that matters. If that's the only nerf to Inquisitor. Wait a second, let's check. Let's check. I'm searching. Okay, Inquisitor's only named, you guys see this? One time. One time. Do you guys see it? Can you guys see my cursor? One time. I understand it was a main for Righteous Fire. My point is, what was it that we looked at the other day? 30% of the league was playing Champion or Inquis? They think that's going to be the only thing. Like, a bunch of people were playing Righteous Fire Inquisitor, sure, but a bunch of people were also playing Spark. Wait, Righteous Fire has been the meta skill for 3 leagues? That's a good nerf. They don't want to kill them? I don't even think that's going to really mess with... If okay, I haven't played in a while. I will not argue the point. If this is all they're doing to Inquis is still good for a lot of other things. Aegis is the problem, not that. Spectral Helix and Lightning Conduit. Both Spectral Helix and Lightning Conduit are currently too strong at all stages of the game relative to other skills. Yeah, you can say that again. I was using Spectral Helix as soon as we came back and we're messing around in Delirium and it was just blowing everything up. We've lowered the damage on these two skills to bring them more in line with others. See, just leave them. Just leave them for everybody else in Softcore and just nerf them in Ruthless. Like, I need to get... You know what I need to do? You know what I need to do, guys, for my dress up? For my dress up for the stream, I just need to get like a leather pane hat and a leather pane ball, a little red pane ball, and our safe word for the league, for the Hades 320 league, will just be the safe word will just be Ruthless. There you go. Ruthless is our safe word, and there you go. My goodness, like, just nerf Ruthless and let the base game at a certain point in design. That's got to be an internal conversation that they're having at Grinding Gear Games. At a certain point, if players just want to play the zoomy, fast version of Path of Exile, just let them. And then if you really want to make the game super duper difficult and scarce and hard and slow, okay, make it that other mode. Like, by opening up the availability to play Ruthless, that in and of itself, I feel like we've got 2 different divergent game designs for the game. Iron, I thought this was a good whole Twitch chat, and now we are talking about having a good wholesome Twitch chat. Now we're talking about having a safe word. Yeah, like a safe word. Like, you know, if you want to enter into the secret boys only club or girls only club or friends only club or, you know, the G3 Family Gamers Club. I don't know what you're talking about when you're referencing a safe word. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, all right. What do y'all think about the league mechanic? I'm stoked. I am as well. This was my opinion of it. I posted it on Discord. Where is it? I posted it on our G3 Discord. This is... Where did it go? Here it is. This is what I think of the league mechanic. 320, Forbidden Sanctum, is equal to Path of Exile plus Hades. Thumbs up. I like playing roguelites. I cannot say it enough. I love that failure of an encounter is not instant instantly tied to, well, you died. Your character died, and that's the only way you failed the encounter. I love that there's no timer. Guys, can we talk about that for a second? There's no timer. That's actually one thing that I'm surprised they didn't use in the promotional material, just to say, hey guys, here's a league that doesn't have a timer associated with it. Maybe we haven't had a lot of leagues recently that have had timers with it, but for a while, that was a thing. That was a level of complaint among the POE community. So for the fact that there's no timer, at least that we know of, maybe certain rooms will have that as a disadvantage, right? Maybe you'll lose resolve for the longer that you're in the room. Maybe, who knows? But for a league not to have a timer attached to it, that's pretty cool. Yeah, no timers. Yes, right? Do you guys not remember how many leagues in a row that we had timers attached to it? Whether it was a hard timer like Alva that shows you, hey, the timer is literally running down, or it's a timer like the Delve cart that's moving at its own pace. It's very, very slow. It's very, very forgiving now. When it was first released, it was a little bit different. And we actually, I think, had to ask for it to be sped up or something, and then they came up with the idea of alternating its speed a little bit more. But that was a timed encounter. Blight's a timed encounter. Oh my goodness, what's the Delirium? Delirium is a timed encounter. What else? What's the purple league that I really love and I always forget? Breach is of course purple and timed. But I always forget. It's got the timeless jewels. I always forget. Legion. Yeah, thank you. Legion is a timed encounter. It doesn't have a timer, but you have a certain number of time to blow up monsters. Like, so many things are timed. Ritual was a timed encounter. So many things are timed. Heist, in some regard, was sort of timed, wasn't it? At least at first. Well, it was on the alarm system, right? It was on the alarm system. So maybe that's a skill-based timer. Yeah. Yeah, maybe so. Interesting. Anyway, my point is, I'm excited for Hades League. I mean, Forbidden Sanctum League. I'm excited for it. I think you should be excited for it. Well, never let anybody tell you how to play a game. I'm excited for it. That's all I can say. The presentation, excellent. The talking points, excellent. Addressing the complaints, excellent. So I'm very much excited. The train for Betrayal. Yeah, Betrayal as well, in some aspects of it. I've never been this excited for something to take my time between mapping. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. All right, so Spectral Helix and Lightning Conduit both got hit. Lightning Strike. The problem, Lightning Strike is currently overperforming in comparison to other skills. It is very good at both clearing and dealing single target damage. We've changed the number of additional projectiles fired by Lightning Strike. It now requires more investment in additional projectiles for improved clear speed. So now it's going to fire 2 additional projectiles, previously 4 at gem level 1, up to 7 at gem level 20. Oh, wow. So it's going down from 7 to 2. Wow, that's a big nerf. Divergent no longer gives additional projectiles. Wow, that's huge. Yeah. That is a big change on Lightning Strike. Rest in peace, all the people who wanted to play Lightning Strike. All right, Divergent Second Wind. The life regeneration on skill use provided by Divergent Second Wind support has irreconcilable bugs with a few other stats that interact with life regeneration. We've replaced the stat on Divergent Second Wind with generic life recovery instead of life regeneration. Quality on the Divergent Second Wind support no longer grants regenerate. Instead, it now grants 0 to 1% life when you use supported skills. Okay, interesting. Onslaught. What are they doing to Onslaught? Historically, Onslaught itself has never been a buff and cannot be scaled by modifiers to buff effect, as its only effect is you have Onslaught, which isn't very sensible. Onslaught is now a buff, and modifiers to buff effect now apply to Onslaught? Where's... Oh, guys, we're playing Raiders. If you're playing softcore and you're not playing a Raider, I don't know why. Why aren't you playing Raider? look at, there's even some buff effects down here, aren't there? Right? This would count, right? Revelry, 10% increased effective non-curse auras from your skills? No. No, because that would be an aura. So it's a buff. Okay, wait. It's a buff, but it's not an aura, right? Because auras are specific. Yeah, I don't... where's the effect wheel? Isn't the effect wheel still up here by the Witch and Templar? Sovereignty, okay. Non-curse auras from your skills. I need a POE wiki over on Onslaught. If it's going to be a buff, see, this is what it used to say. So this is what it used to be. Onslaught itself is never a buff. It's a Boolean property, yeah, so it's a 0 or 1. That's what it used to be. In other words, this is now, it's, what do you call it, gradient? Oh my gosh. But the buff itself is not Onslaught, and that buff cannot be scaled by buff effect modifiers. This is what it used to be. Guys, this is worth an entire discussion video unto itself. Okay, so let's jump over to Ichimonji. So Ichimonji says, just so you know, it says it's a sword. It's a one-handed sword, which means you can dual wield it. You can dual wield it. You can use it twice. It says, it's got some stuff. It does some damage, and it's got increased buff effects or increased effective buffs on you. Then it's got the drawback: allies' aura buffs do not affect you. Your aura buffs do not affect allies. But if you're not playing with anybody else, who cares? 10% increased mana reservation efficiency of skills. So if you wear this twice, that's 20% effective buffs on you. Raider stays the same, but other ascendancies can scale Onslaught now. Yes, but my point is that if you're playing Raider, Raider is the only one who just gets to say, Rapid Onslaught, you have Onslaught. Period. You don't have to use gem slots. You don't have to use other passives. You just use your ascendancy. Boom, you've got Onslaught. So now you can build an entire rest of your character around scaling your buff effect, if you wanted to, around having increased attack, cast, and movement speed. By the way, it's movement speed as well. Like, Onslaught is also movement speed. Like, I kind of want to go show you guys on a Raider, like, the difference between how fast a character is with Onslaught versus without it. Like, this is... I don't know. Maybe I'm just blowing smoke, but this is big. This is big. Yeah, you can dedicate this to a silver flask if you want to, or you can use your ascendancy to do so. And if you're already using your ascendancy to buff Onslaught effect, wouldn't you want to do that through somebody who also gives increased Onslaught effect right here? Like, you're getting 30% increased Onslaught effect right there. Will Guardian now be super zoom minions? Maybe. Right? Because over here on Guardian, you've got, where is it? When you've got 4 enemies or 4 allies around you? Where is it? I forget. Where is it? Is it Bastion? What's it? Where is it? Radiant Crusade. There we go. While there are at least nearby 5 enemies, you and nearby enemies have Onslaught, which is another pretty consistent way, especially if you're using like Dominating Blow or, oh my goodness, Dominating Blow used to be the way to do it. There's another, I think Animate Weapon Guardian, I think also did it way back in the day. Absolution is another way to do it. But don't we need more ways to buff effect to be truly useful? Says Blood Phoenix. Yes, but you can get that on the passive tree. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying. Oh, golems? Golems are another way to do it. Be a golem answer. Be a Guardian Golemancer. So like this wheel up here, if this applies for non-curse auras from your skills, I don't think Onslaught's going to count as an aura, right? Ancestral Guardian with Ichimonji, go burr. We haven't seen the new passive tree either. That's true. That's true. That's true. Maybe I'm getting way too excited. Okay? I'm Bald Man and I'm back to playing POE. I'm excited in general. But that to me, it's a buff. So stuff that scales buffs can scale it. And Onslaught gives 20% increased attack speed and cast speed. That's what it gives you. And movement speed. Right? This is Ruthless. Ruthless, you don't get the movement speed. But guess what? But we are sure this is a buff. So are we bumping Supreme Ego now? Supreme Ego. Remind me Supreme Ego. Supreme Ego. Is that a passive? Supreme Ego. Auras from your skills can only affect you. Aura skills have 1% more, 40%. Auras from skills have 1% more aura effect per 2% of mana they reserve. See, it's not a skill. It's not a skill. So Supreme Ego wouldn't interact with it. Good thought. Good thought. This is definitely a buff. That's what we know. This is definitely a buff. Search for skill effect. I mean, here's skill effect. Non-curse auras from your skills. I just don't know if it counts as an aura. I don't think it does. If it does, then there's about a gazillion ways that you can scale up Onslaught. That's what I'm saying. If it counts that way, oh boy, we're going to see some fast characters, or we're going to see that reverted real quick. I don't know. It's interesting. It might be a buff now that's just not scalable. I don't know. Maybe I'm going way overboard. I probably am. All right, Withering Step and Elusive. Withering Step could be used to keep up a far stronger elusive effect on average, especially in combination with the Nightblade support. Normally you have to wait for elusive to gradually lose effectiveness and fall off before you can gain elusive again, but with Withering Step you could replace the existing elusive buff with that of Withering Steps and then use any skill to lose elusive again. Withering Step can no longer be used while already elusive. This change shouldn't affect builds that don't have ways to gain elusive outside of Withering Step. Okay. Withering Step is the second nerf to Lightning Strike in this patch because of Nightblade support. Okay. It's fine. So they just don't want people playing Lightning Strike this league. So be it. Ancestor Totem. Added a new totem mastery that provides Ancestor Totem buffs effects linger for 3 seconds. Oh. That's pretty cool. That's going to be really good for a lot of people who want to kill bosses, drop all their totems, blow everything up. And if it doesn't die right away as soon as the totem is up or runs out of duration, you can still kill it. That's pretty cool. All right, Tainted Orbs of Fusing. When introducing tainted currency items, the chances for different outcomes were rebalanced to be appropriate for the core game. The new odds for Tainted Orbs of Fusing made it hard to justify using one on your gear as it could become an expensive venture. We've changed the outcome odds for Tainted Orbs of Fusing to be more favorable to match where they were in Scourge League. Okay, cool. Fracturing Orb changes. Due to changes to Exalted and Divine Orbs in 3.19, Harbingers felt relatively unrewarding to farm, as Exalted Shards presented a significant portion of the value of their rewards. So we've introduced Fracturing Orbs and Fracturing Shards and have removed the Harvest Craft that fractures a random modifier on an item. Yes. This is why I think this is going to be worth farming this league. Okay, I've got to get going here in a few minutes, so we're going to wrap up with a couple of things. So we've got Cirrus's Arena changes, Bestiary Party Play, Corrosive Hunger. Bestiary in party play currently awards a beast to every player when capturing beasts, causing party play to be the best way to capture specific rare beasts many times over. The solution is additional captures of a beast when playing in a party are now rolled on a per-player basis, with the chance being tied to the quantity bonus granted for playing in a party. The owner of the instance is still guaranteed to receive the captured beast. Okay, that's a pretty, interesting. Okay, other big changes. Monster balance. Boiling ambushers. Burn prison. Magnus Stone Thorns cast damage. Keurig League mods. We know that. Quest changes. Alright, we got some different stuff. Some different supports offered at different points. UI interface changes. Some bug fixes. And I think that's going to be the end of the patch notes. Okay. Alright. I'm excited. I am very excited. I'm excited for the new meme skill. I am excited for... Oh gosh, what else am I excited for? I'm just... Well, here's the supporter packs. Look at these supporter packs, guys. Ooh, the Forge series. Oh, yeah, this is pretty cool. That's a pretty cool portal effect. It's going to be so obnoxious when you're in town. Where's the one that's in town crafting? Yeah, here it is. Here it is. Here's the one that's in town crafting. Guys, you can buy an MTX that will show you crafting and linking an item. Now, right now, it's only showing the fusings, but can you imagine if it shows the entire thing and there's 20 people in town all using that? The new meme skill, the new meme skill is, where did it go? Where did it go? Show me, Forbidden Sanctum. The new meme skill is, where is it? Chris talked about it. New skills right here. All right, here's the new skills. This is the new meme skill. It's the one where, they only show like one segment of it, just for a second. All right, so it's just one quick play of it, but here it is. It creates copies of you and copies of your weapon and attack with them, and then you keep moving. So that's what it does. Where do they show it here? Adapt or die, pay the price, bet your life. Sometimes they would have the gems displayed here. Harness powerful gems. Here we go. Frozen Legion. It's a spell cold attack AoE melee. The spell consumes multiple cooldown uses to summon icy statues in a ring. Each statue uses your frozen sweep attack once before vanishing. Requires an axe or a mace, scepter or staff. The skill cannot be triggered, supported by Spell Echo, or Unleash, or used by totems, traps, or mines. Consumes 1 cooldown per statue summoned. It's got a cooldown time of 0.8 seconds for 6 uses. Frozen Sweep. This attack is used by your statues to deal damage. Alright, we'll see you, Cheese. Alright, so this is what it looks like. Here's a still of it. This is copies of you. These are not bad guys. These are you that you summon. It's kind of like Duresso's skill, is what we've talked about. Yeah, no swords makes it kind of interesting. I wonder why that is. I wonder why it is that they decided no swords. Okay, well, I'm excited, and I already want to theory craft. I already want to theory craft a raider. A raider with rapid onslaught. Okay, while I have a second, I'm just going to show you in Path of Exile really quick. This is not a raider. Let's go back here really quick. Do we have... This is a Pathfinder, isn't she? She's Pathfinder. Yeah. Pathetic Pathfinder. Get out of here. Where's my raider? Hiya! Do I not have a raider right now? Oh no, that was a raider, wasn't it? No, she's Pathfinder. Where's my raider? Dead eyes, dead eyes. I'd have to change somebody. I'm gonna have to change somebody. Oh no. I don't want to change somebody. Does she have any gear on her? Okay, she has no gear on her. Okay, so. Oh, I have to run the lab in order to actually change it, don't I? Oh my gosh. I don't want to run the lab right now. Okay, so here's my point. My point... How to illustrate this. 20% increased attack, cast, and movement speed. So built into the Raider is already 30% increased effective onslaught. Right? Save your sword is probably why they stopped use of swords. Oh, that'd be interesting. That would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. So how fast is that? So if that's 30%, if that's 30% added, so it's a 30% buff to 20. So what is that, like 8%? So now you're going at 28% movement speed. You're getting 28% increased attack and cast speed. Is that what it is? Ruin, you're saying 130. 130 is the total amount that we can get? We can get it up to 130%? Oh, I said 26. There we go. I said 28. Thank you, Erm. Thank you for doing the math. Oh, with the next point? Oh, because of 100% increased onslaught effect. Okay. So if we go up to 130, right, we're up to 26%. Are we doing that right? No, because we get the 100% increased. Yeah, this is where it's going to be nuts. So let's go Raider. We're up to 46% increased move speed. If I start speccing into skill effect, it's not going to give me any. Oh, it does. Movement speed modifier, 51%. Why does it give me that, though? That's just got to be because of... Yeah, that's got to be because of dexterity that I just took. That's why. It's not actually because of the effect. It's not an aura. That's my thing. Try Guardian. It's not an aura. It's not an aura. All right, somebody who's smarter than me is going to have to figure this out. You pad through a move speed node. Yeah, there you go. We'll have to see its tags. Well, that's what I'm saying on, where is it? On the POE wiki, it's just a Boolean. It's just like, it says it's like, this is the buff. You either have it or you don't. So the fact that they're changing it. See, here's what Onslaught support says right now. It's not an aura. It's just a support. Go sign and multi-class it to check. Okay, I will leave that to you guys to figure out because I need to get going for a work phone call. So I want to say thank you so much, everybody, for joining us for our patch notes read-through. There are a lot of patch notes in here. I hope we were able to cover at least some of the highlights with you guys, and hopefully it was an enjoyable time for all of you. I am very, very excited for the upcoming 320 Forbidden Sanctum League, which is what we're calling it. We're calling it Path of Exile plus Hades equals Forbidden Sanctum. It is a roguelite. There is no doubt about it. Grinding Gear Games is embracing that and saying, hey, let's do a roguelite and let's see what sort of reception this sort of gets. Let's basically reverse all the stuff that people have been complaining about Arch Nemesis in a lot of ways. And let's include a bunch of Vol skills, including a Vol skill that allows you to steal Headhunter buffs from the get-go. Let's see if players like that. Oh, and let's also make Onslaught now a buff. So maybe potentially you can scale it and go even faster. Anyway, thanks so much for joining us today, everybody, on the stream. Thanks so much if you're watching on the YouTube highlights list. Maybe by tomorrow, once this is out on YouTube, we'll have answers about Onslaught, and then we can all make fun of how wrong I am taking a look at numbers and the potential ideas for a Raider build. But anyway, thanks so much for joining us. I hope the upcoming Hades Forbidden Sanctum 320 Path of Exile League is the league that a Mirror of Calandra drops for you. Thanks for watching that video. If you'd like more information on any of our discussion points today, you can see them down below in the video description. If you'd also like to join our Discord or support our Patreon, you can do so with the links down below. Thanks again, and big shout out to all of our Patreon supporters.